Most fitness coaches, they create content backwards. They're spending most of their time trying to educate people on problems that they don't even know they have yet. And that's exactly why one of the biggest pieces of advice that I've ever gotten with my marketing and sales for my own seven-figure online fitness company is meet them where they are. And since getting this advice, it's served as the foundation for how I connect with my audience, market to them, and eventually sell them on my high-ticket premium offers. Since 2019, I've served over 40,000 clients and currently have over 10,000 active mobile app subscribers to my fitness app. And over the next 30 minutes, I'm going to teach you the exact stealth-influenced content strategy that I've built and developed through years of trial and error and struggling with the same problems that you do with attracting online fitness clients and converting them into premium high-ticket buyers. And hopefully by the time you're done watching this video, you'll not only understand exactly why your content isn't converting, but exactly how to fix it. And like I said, coaches online, they're spending most of their time trying to educate their leads and their prospects on problems that they don't even know they have yet. And so I'm going to pull up a reference here that you may or may not be familiar with, but we're just going to go back to the basics. And I'm sure you've probably seen this type of sales funnel chart. This is called an awareness funnel. And my goal with walking through this is to hopefully shift your perspective on it. Now, most coaches, what they're doing is they're looking at these bottom three tiers, and this is where they're spending all of their time. They consider this their top of funnel. They consider the product aware as their middle of funnel, and then they consider the fully aware, the bottom of their funnel, ready to convert clients. And because of this, they're leaving 80% of the market completely open for guys like me who are willing to spend a little bit more time and energy marketing to the unaware audience so that I can get those clients much later down their nurturing journey. So I want you to think about this funnel as, rather than thinking about them being at this step when they're here, I want you to instead think about our goal is to achieve this outcome. So when they're here in the problem aware phase, our goal is to educate them on their problems so they become problem aware. When they're here in this phase, our goal is to educate them on the solution. When they're in this phase, our goal is to educate them on the product. Finally, down here, our goal is to make sure that they're fully aware of everything that we have to offer. So up here, if I'm educating people who are completely unaware that they have a problem, I want you to think about and ask yourself the question, what type of content would I put in front of them? In fact, I would make the argument that unaware is probably not the best way of describing this phase. Instead, let's look at these people as symptom aware. So these people, they know that they're experiencing a pain, a slight annoyance, something that's bothering them, but they've yet to associate it to a problem. This is very important. And I can tell you, out of all of the gurus that you're going to find out there teaching, you can pay tens of thousands of dollars to all of these business coaches teaching fitness coaching, and none of them are going to deliver this information in this way that's going to give you the epiphany that I'm about to give you. When I say meet them where they are, what I'm saying is 80 to 90% of the people in your market have no idea they even have a problem. All they know is that they're experiencing a symptom, an annoyance, something that's bothering them. They have no idea that there's a much deeper underlying systematic issue that's occurring with their health, their performance, whatever the case may be. And they've yet to create that association. Your job with your entire content strategy should be to bring them from a place where they not only understand that they have a problem, but they understand that this is a systematic, much bigger problem that they need help with, that only your solution can solve. Very important. So again, we're talking content strategy, but so far I've yet to talk anything about content, because 90% of the coaches out there who are struggling to convert clients with their organic content don't have a content problem. They have a positioning and messaging problem. You have a problem with understanding what your clients really struggle with. And instead of actually solving their problems, you're trying to deliver content that not only diagnoses their problem, but then positions yourself as the provider to the solution. This is why they don't trust you. And so think about it like this. When I have guys at this top of funnel, let's just say as an example, I'm marketing to nurses and I'm a fitness coach who sells to nurses. What is the actual symptom that they're struggling with from a health and wellness perspective? I can tell you right off of the top of my head, a nurse, somebody who's working like 3 12-hour shifts a week, rotating schedule. Sometimes it's day shift, sometimes it's night shift. One of the biggest symptoms that they have is struggling with energy, especially during their shift. Their sleep patterns are probably irregular. Their schedule's inconsistent. They probably have a hard time staying on track as far as their food is concerned. And then because they're on rotating shifts, they probably have a really hard time getting into a consistent routine as far as their sleep is concerned. And so because of all of that, they're struggling with a lot of, I'm always tired. I want to take a nap halfway through my shift. Of course, they know that they have all these inconsistencies with their schedule, but the only thing that they're thinking in their mind right now is, oh my God, why is it that I always crash and feel so tired halfway through my shift? That's the big problem that they have. They're tired. This person is not thinking to themselves, oh my God, I need to go spend thousands of dollars on a health and fitness coach to teach me how to stay on track with my nutrition so that I can perform my best. That's not what they're thinking. What they're thinking about is their immediate problem that's right in front of them that's keeping them awake at night. And every single niche, whatever you're targeting, is going to have a different major pain point. So as an example, we talked about energy and performance for a nurse because she's struggling with the inconsistent nature of her schedule and the chaotic nature of the work that she does, and nothing is predictable. And we're dealing with energy crashes. So we solve that problem first with our content. Hey, the reason why you're struggling with energy and performance on your shift very likely has to do with XYZ. And if you do A, B, and C, it's probably going to very quickly and easily solve that immediate painful problem that you're experiencing. I want you to think about your top of funnel content as aspirin. I should be able to solve that problem very quickly. And our goal here is to earn trust. That's it. Now, this is why it's so important for you as a fitness coach to have a niche. We talked about nurses. I could be marketing to lawyers who also have the same exact energy deficiency. They struggle with performance, their chaotic nature of their job. The problem is exactly the same. The only difference is the way that I present that problem is going to be different. If I'm talking to a lawyer, I'm going to say, man, it's probably pretty tough for you because your caseload is far beyond what you know it should be. You're exhausted all the time. You have an inconsistent schedule as far as your caseload is concerned. You're always in court. You're not able to eat at the same time every day. And your sleep is inconsistent at best because you have so much work to do and you're bringing your home with you. Sound familiar? So it was the big problem, but who I presented that to changed the way that I talk about that problem. So step one is we need to identify the deep, unique problem that our ideal type of client has. If I'm a fitness coach, the deeper I go with that problem, the more niche I go with that problem, the more valuable that solution is going to be. So if I just say, hey, if you're struggling with energy crashes during the day, try this, boom, boom, boom. I've just established myself as a generalist. I'm just providing general health and fitness and nutrition knowledge. Not as valuable. If I go deeper and I talk about that unique problem as it pertains to a nurse or lawyer or business owner, now that solution becomes much more valuable in their eyes because it's specific to them. Okay, so this is step one. We know that they're unaware. Our goal is to make them symptom aware. I know you have this problem. Here's what that problem is. And then your job with your first layer content is to solve that problem with an immediate fix that they can consume and apply now to get a result. Try this. Try changing your lunch to protein only with a high fiber carb like an apple, and watch how your energy changes. And when you do that and they see the solution and they apply it immediately, they're going to be like, oh my God, epiphany. For context, this video is a top of funnel piece of content because I'm giving you an immediate solution to the big problem that you have, which is I'm not getting as many clients as I want. I'm posting content every day. I should be getting clients, but I don't know what's wrong. Somebody help me. Boom. Just with that last segment on this video, you probably thought to yourself, oh, that is the piece that you need to apply with every top of funnel piece of content. This is highly shareable, highly valuable, relatable. We're building trust. We're establishing a relationship. The last thing I want to do is go for the kill and ask them to marry me on the first date. All we're doing is just building rapport. Okay? All right. So the next phase of this process is now that they're we've established good faith. We've established goodwill. The next step is we want to make them problem aware. So think about it like this. Hey, I was struggling with my energy and my performance during the day. This really awesome fitness coach came in and they told me that if I just eat more protein and consume fiber during my lunch, it's very likely that I'm going to solve my energy problem. I'm no longer going to crash during my shift. So that's what I did. And oh my God, it worked. That's great. However, you as the fitness coach who's highly trained on nutrition and performance for people, you know that if this person is consistently not eating their lunch and they're having insulin crashes and they have inconsistencies with their diet and they're not getting enough protein, there are probably a lot of other underlying, more bigger systematic problems that this person faces. Other symptoms. Agree? So maybe the next stage of your content, you could say, hey, by the way, if you were struggling with energy and you're a nurse, my guess is you're probably also struggling with getting that last bit of belly fat off. And you feel like it's really stubborn and it's hard to get that weight off. You're struggling to feel like you're getting consistent sleep. And when you do sleep throughout the night, when you wake up, you don't feel well rested. And my guess is most of the time, the foods that you consume consist of processed carbohydrates that you're getting from vending machines and other places. Does that sound right? Well, if that's the case, it's very likely that you're struggling with a much more systematic problem related to insulin resistance and slow metabolism. And the reason why you're not able to get that body fat off is because, number one, you're sleeping inconsistent. Number two, you're not getting nearly enough protein that your body needs. And number three, my guess is you're filling all those gaps with processed carbs, which is just making the entire problem worse. Here's exactly why your metabolism has crashed. With the Josh Holyfield XYZ method, we fix it doing this. And then you actually educate them on the solution to that. So here's why your metabolism crashes when you don't eat enough protein. And here's how, with my coaching, we solve that problem. Now what you've done is you've provided them with the context, the education, the information, and the knowledge that they need to recognize that their energy crashes, while yes, were a very severe symptom that they're struggling with, are part of a much deeper, bigger, systematic problem related to their lifestyle. And you read them like a book. Wow, he said I'm having this problem, this problem, this problem, this problem. I have all those symptoms too. And holy crap, he described my life to a T because I'm marketing to that specific niche, that demographic of people. I know their unique problems, so I can speak to them from a place of extreme empathy. So now what's occurred is I've established trust, I've established authority, I've empathized with them, I've made them feel heard, and I've provided even more education while also planting a seed. With my coaching, with my clients, with my XYZ method, with this is what we do. Here's how we solve that problem. Your goal with your middle of funnel content is to do two things. Number one, it's to help them to understand that A, they have a much deeper systematic problem than they thought they did, and B, leave them with a cliffhanger wondering, what is that thing that I probably haven't tried yet that he's talking about? AKA your unique mechanism, the thing that you're selling that's different than what everybody else is doing. You have to have your unique method. With this video I told you about the stealth influence framework that we use, our content system. And when I say it, hey, I'm going to teach you the stealth content framework, you're like, oh, I've never heard of that. I wonder what that is. Your leads are going to spend most of their time inside of that middle of the funnel space. And the reason for that is because you have to spend enough time nurturing them to build enough desire and trust to want to move forward with your program. Everybody's different. Everybody moves at different paces. But your goal with your content ecosystem, your sphere of influence, as we'll call it, is to get as many people inside of that middle of funnel as possible and massage them with your value content, educating them on the deeper problems while also inferring that your coaching is available. With your middle of funnel content, you should never be directly trying to sell. At no point in time during those videos should you say, by the way, I have 3 more slots of coaching, or if you want coaching, comment this word, or any of that. It's not the place for that. When people are ready to take the next step, if you've done your job planting the seeds of letting them know that you do offer coaching, they'll seek you out. And so think about how this works. What do you think is better? If they message you asking for help, or if you slide into their DMs cold and solicit to find out if they need help? Much more different mechanic. You want to hold your frame. Hey, I'm here. This is what we offer. Make it very clear that you are a coach, you're an expert, you're an authority, you have clients, you have experience, you have case studies. Just leave the door open for them. That's it. Middle of funnel content. And then lastly, you have your bottom of funnel content. And your bottom of funnel content is intended to do 3 things. This is probably the most complex part of this entire process. Number 1, it's designated to give them proof. Show that you actually have the ability to deliver on the promises you make. The way that you're going to do that is by showing transformations and case studies. A transformation would be side-by-side photo of a before and after of a client. A case study would be an entire video expose with a testimonial where you walk through the process of how you help that client get that outcome. Keep in mind, and we're not going to go too far on this, but keep in mind that your testimonials, your case studies, your transformation photos, they should tell the story. You should not be saying, hey, huge shout out to Sarah. She lost 20 pounds with my coaching over the last 12 weeks. That sucks. Don't do that. What you do is you say, hey, this is my client, Sarah. When she started with me 3 months ago, this was the big problem that she had. She struggled with XYZ, and it was coming to a point where she felt this key pain point. She had tried everything. Insert the things she tried, boom, boom, boom. And then she came to me, and here's what we did. 1, 2, 3. And after doing 1, 2, and 3 for this long, we were able to solve Sarah's big problem. Ideally, the key objection that most people struggle with in Sarah's position, time, money, whatever resource constraint they have. And we insert that and say, now she got this outcome. And ideally, this outcome is the exact outcome that you're selling with your coaching offer. Okay, so those are your case studies, your transformations, testimonials. The second thing that we're trying to do with our bottom of funnel content is create cognitive dissonance. So we brought them from a point where they were just symptom aware to now they're problem aware. Now they're aware they have a solution. That was the next phase in our little awareness funnel, right? With the bottom of funnel content, we're educating them on the solution. They know this exists, okay? Now we need to say, hey, you know you have this problem. You know there's a solution available. Why aren't you taking action? Cognitive dissonance is basically where you call out the misalignment between who they say they are and who they actually are. The things that they do versus the things that they say they are, right? Their identity versus action. For most people, when there's a legitimate disconnect between who they actually are and who they want to be, that creates a lot of tension for them. The idea behind this, we'll say, cognitive dissonance content is we want to position ourselves in a way where they feel like we're always watching. Most of this content should revolve around the, hey, you say you're this, but you're this. Why? And the third type of content that we typically do in the bottom of the funnel is where we just make a direct offer. Hey, I'm looking for 3, 5, 7 more nurses, lawyers, whatever, who want to achieve this, and this surface level result while also achieving insert identity level result without major objection within this timeline. That's it. And so the idea behind this is we just want to open the door for them and let them know that we have an offer for them. That type of direct offer content you're going to use very sparingly, maybe twice a month at most, and it needs to be done very strategically. Otherwise, it's going to completely draw out the emotional bank account that you have from your audience. So you can kind of see how these 3 layers stack on top of each other. Going back, they started, they were unaware. Our goal was to make them symptom aware and solve that problem for them. Once they were symptom aware, we built that trust, we built that connection, we earned their follow. Now our goal is to make them problem aware. Hey, you have this symptom. It's very likely that you have these other symptoms, which means that they're all connected to a much bigger systematic problem. That's why you're feeling this way. That's why this is what's going on with your life. This is why you're struggling to lose weight. It's not your fault. I'm here to fix that for you. Our goal here is to shift perspective around their problem. Then once they become problem aware, oh my God, I'm insulin resistant. I need to fix that. Now, ideally, your offer in your business, the thing that you're selling, just so happens to conveniently solve the major problem that you convinced them that they had. If you've done this the right way, the way that I just explained to you, what will happen is they're going to view you as the only person who can deliver the solution to the problem that they didn't know they had, that you educated them on, that was related to the symptom that they had, that you solved for them. You're taking them on the psychological journey that requires you meet them where they are. If I walk up to a random nurse and I say, hey, the reason why you're struggling with energy in the afternoon and you're crashing halfway through your shift and you're always tired is because you have insulin resistance. And it's very likely that you're under eating protein, which is why you have this problem. If you want to fix that, buy my coaching. You're maybe going to convert 1% of nurses at best using that strategy. And for some coaches that works, especially if they're charismatic and they're more compelling. But what if you build a huge community of nurses who trust you as the expert health advisor for nurses specifically, and they all operate inside of this ecosystem, which is your community, whatever social platform you use. Now you basically have your social media that's just pumping middle of funnel content to continue to further educate and refine them around your systems, your processes, your unique mechanism, how you solve their problems. And ultimately what you've done is you've basically used your content to attract, indoctrinate, then convert. And the way that you convert them is not by saying, hey, I've got 3 more spots every week and lying to them. It's about showing them the results that you've gotten for other nurses like them, showing them the transformations that you've got for other nurses like them, and then having other nurses sell your program for you with their testimonials and their referrals. And the idea behind this content system is now what we've done is we've played the long game and we've created a community instead of an audience. And we've built an immense amount of trust instead of all of our followers thinking that all we want to do is just try to sell them something. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. What I want you to do is Instead of just continuing to post the same general fitness tips, here's 3 steps for blah, 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 or even worse, just posting videos of yourself working out with motivational quotes. What I want you to do is I want you to go back and I want you to write down the 10 problems that your ideal prospect has through the lens of how they see it. Not what you think it is, what they think it is. And so, pro tip, if you're a coach and you already have a bunch of clients, ask them. Use the problems that you solve for them during your weekly check-ins. If you don't have a bunch of clients, use ChatGPT, use the internet, use whatever you can, type in the demographic of people that you have and say, hey, I'm a fitness coach. I'm trying to solve the problems that they feel like they have, the unique hair-splitting problems, the things that keep them up at night, that only that audience has. It can't be general. It has to be specific to your audience. Then what I want you to do is I want you to craft a content strategy with 10 videos over the next 10 days that solve that specific problem. Hey, if you're this or struggling with this pain point, do this. Here's why it works. That's it. No call to action about coaching, no call to action about following you, nothing sleazy. Genuinely go on there for the next 10 days and try to legitimately solve the problems that your ideal prospects have. Watch the quality of your engagement change. Your engagement is going to go from, oh, wow, yay, like, comment, from other fitness coaches to people who you actually want to work with saying, oh, this is really useful. Thank you so much. You're going to see more saves on your content and shares on your content than you're going to see likes and comments. Your reach might go down. The number of views that you get on the video is probably going to go down, but the people watching those videos are going to be the ones that you want watching those videos. So you're going to take 10 pieces of content, 10 days. Then, ideally, you're going to have clients ask questions in the comments. Followers asking questions, follow-up questions in the comments. Your goal is to use those questions to do one of two things. Either one, use those questions to fuel the hooks for your middle of funnel content that revolve around that subject, to educate them on the bigger problem. Two, create content that creates drama, controversy, that establishes polarity, pulls your ideal prospect towards you through the values that you have, and pushes the people that you don't want to work with you away. Okay? So you can create controversy with that content. This is the stuff that's going to get reach and get you followers and attention. Then you're educating through the other pieces of content, and then both of those are going to create this cyclic effect that's going to give you a lot of engagement that then you can turn into more content. And so after doing this for 30 days, what will happen is you'll create this big snowball effect where your content and the engagement from your audience continues to feed more and more and more and more. Questions are being asked, arguments are being had, responses are occurring, and you're creating a community. You're creating an audience of people who have the same frame of mind that you do, who think the way that you do, who value your opinion, who respect you, who admire you, who will then become buyers as you continue to work towards nurturing them over the long term. So what you just learned is the exact content strategy that scaled me and my own fitness company from 0 to hundreds of thousands of followers across TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, thousands of clients, and over $1 million a year. So I'm not just a guru who's using the case studies from his own coaching business to sell more coaching to vulnerable coaches who want to make money. I'm a fitness coach who decided to come over to this side while I still have a fitness company running itself to teach you the exact strategies that I'm using that are working today. This content strategy works. Not only have I done it and applied it for my own business, I also have several clients who I've applied the same strategy to in their fitness companies who've all scaled to well over 6 figures per year as solopreneurs, which is awesome. Now, the greatest thing about this is just one of the strategies that I teach inside of my $0 to $1 million per year online fitness coaching business blueprint. And I've actually made this course with over 40 hours of course content just like this available for 100% free inside of my school community. If you want access to that, all you have to do is either one, comment the word school on this video below with a K, or check the description and I'll drop the link there for you as well. And if you join the school community, you'll find this video with an entire comprehensive Google Doc that teaches everything that I just went through so that you can use it for a reference for later. So again, if you're interested in joining the school group, it's 100% free. We're just getting this company started helping guys and gals just like you. So we'd love to have you join our community as a founder and really build something that's focused on helping people, creating value for people rather than tricking them into paying us more money and not seeing the result. So thank you for tuning in. I hope this strategy helped you, and we'll talk soon.